Oh my god. You know what we could do? Like the blue light from fucking.
Oh, the blue tint.
Oh, yep, that's gone. Hi guys, welcome to the Past Our Expiration podcast. I'm Brad and this is
Ellie?
and we are two friends who like having satirical conversations with ourselves.
With each other
Yeah.
and ourselves.
Yeah. It's self-talk but with each other. So whatever that classifies as.
Craziness, possibly.
Craziness. Well, I mean, hey, it is the season for it, right?
It is. It's the Hoa Hoa season, as we
Hoa,
say.
Hoa, Hoa.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's Twilight season, baby.
Halloween episode. Do you have any drinks for the Halloween episode?
I have tea, as per usual. I do have some spooky, like coffee mugs, but I was like, I can't. It's for like iced coffee. You can't.
You
it's
can't
not for
have it,
hot
yeah,
drinks.
fair enough.
So, but I do have my spooky. Let's summon demons.
Nice.
Fantastic. What do you have?
I have my filled
Your
with
Yeti.
Yeah,
Yeti.
it's filled with water, right? Water.
Oh, okay. Water.
However, I have added the spookiest ingredient, right? I've just joined Water Talk, right? And so I've got these, which is Jolly Rancher water flavorings, and they've got no sugar in them, but it's sickly sweet. But it is truly, it's the spookiest ingredient, artificial flavoring.
The scariest.
The scariest ingredient.
The scariest part.
Yeah, and that's
And it's green apple. You need like caramel apple or like.
It's super spooky, and yeah, that's really the only drink I have.
What is that?
I don't know. What could this be? What could this be?
It came.
It came.
It looks
I'm
so
so
good.
excited.
I was going to say, I was like, you have water as your drink of choice.
I know. It's hot chocolate.
Boring.
It's hot chocolate.
Much better. I feel like we're very boring because we do this so late. I'm like, yeah, let's make a fancy iced coffee. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't do that. It's too late in the day.
Podcast, Corpses and Cocktails, my co-host Erin would always make like really fancy cocktails, and I'd be like, and I'm drinking a Pepsi Max. Like she'd be like, oh yes, I've got a highball glass with this lovely cocktail
With garnishes.
and I was like, I'm drinking battery acid into my mouth. Like I didn't know. I don't
Straight
know.
Pepsi.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Pepsi Max too, not even
Pepsi
just normal
Max.
Pepsi.
It can strip meat off of bones, but I need that. You know what I mean? I need that burn.
I mean, yeah, I drink Coke. So, are you a Pepsi person? Pepsi or Coke?
I'm a Pepsi person. Yeah, I'm a Pepsi person.
Yucky.
But yeah, I mean, hey, I don't like full sugar. If I'm going a full sugar drink, I'm going Coke.
Okay.
If I'm going
Okay.
a diet drink, I'm going Pepsi Max, because Diet Coke, there's something about it. There's something about it.
Diet Coke's not good, but Coke Zero's not too bad.
Oh, I
Or do
love
you class-
Coke Zero, but you can't get that anymore.
I mean, I
Coke no
literally
sugar
have
is
some in
different.
my.
Coke no sugar is different. That's not Coke Zero.
Oh,
Coke no sugar tastes different. They use a different. I think
I
they
have Coke
moved
Zero
like
in my
from
fridge.
aspartame to phenylalanine, and that's where they lost me. Yes,
probably, yeah.
it's weird. Yeah, I'm weird with drinks. But I used to drink like giant bottles of Coke Zero. And have you ever had LA Ice?
No, what is that?
LA Ice is, I think it's an Australian brand, despite being named after Los Angeles.
LA, yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it was really cheap, which is why I used to drink it, because I was povo. And I used to go across the road from my house to a milk bar and get a $2 bottle, giant bottle of this LA Ice. And it's basically Coke.
Oh, like off-brand cola.
Kind of off-brand, but like they had their own brand. And it was really something. It kind of tastes like if Coke, like, okay, it tastes like the mental image of Coke. You know what I mean? Like you're conjuring the taste. You can't quite taste it, but you're conjuring the taste. You know what you should
know why
be
it tastes
tasting.
like that? Because the people in the factory, when they were making it, were like, what does Coke taste like? Yeah, that's about right. That's pretty close. That's how they made it.
Good enough. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
Legit good enough.
Oh my
I thought
God.
LA Ice was. I thought you were going to say it was something alcoholic. It sounds like an RTD,
Yeah.
pre-mixed beverage.
Yeah, kind of like a Smirnoff Ice. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that brings back bad memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the drink that you first got drunk to? You know, when you were drinking it,
the drink.
probably
What's the
14,
drink that you
but-
can never drink again?
Exactly,
Yes, I was
yeah.
most. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was 14. I don't know what the first one was. What did I drink first? I think it was something boring like wine.
Oh, yeah.
But the drink that I can never drink again because I drank way too much of it one night was bourbon.
Oh.
Me and bourbon are not friends. Me and Jim Beam, nope, we don't get along.
It's going to tie into this episode, but when I did, I haven't drunk this heavily since I did this, but I did the Twilight drinking game. And I did it with a JD's double black, right?
No. Oh,
So
and double black, so
So
double.
for every drink, I was having 2 drinks,
No.
pretty much.
Yuck. Why would you do that?
And I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
I feel like drinking games you can only do with beer or wine. Otherwise, you just it's a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time.
It was a bad time. It was a bad time, and I was pissed halfway through the movie, and the very first movie, and then we started watching the second, and I was too drunk to continue. I was like too drunk, and ever since I've been like,
The fact that you thought you were gonna make it through the entire saga astounds me.
I thought we were going to make it at least through 2 episodes. Episodes.
2 episodes.
Movies.
Yeah.
Well,
2
there are
movies.
2, because the saga is episodes, right?
Saga. True. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, saga because there's 4 instead of
Oh, true.
3. Like it's not a trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A quadruple
Is there only 4?
G. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
there's
on
5 movies because it was part 1, part 2, right?
4. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
They did the Hunger Games thing for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, that time period, everyone just loved let's just
Harry Potter
money
originated
hungry,
it.
split that into 2, so we get double the amount of output. I took bless my father, I love him to bits.
Bless
I
my
took
father
him
for
to
he has sinned.
I took him to the Eclipse midnight screening.
I didn't watch any of them until Breaking Dawn when did they get married? Part 1 or part 2? Part 1. Till part 1 came out in cinemas. I went with my girlfriend to part 1 at a small regional Victoria cinema, and it felt it was in a racquetball arena. So what she's like, Jacob, I love you. You hear like you hear people playing racquetball next door. And I'm like, this is wild. This is wild. And it's like the
insane.
wall that the movie is playing on is like the other side that the people who are playing racquetball are hitting the ball against. It was
wow.
fucking wild.
That's a
Regional
classy
cinemas.
cinema.
Regional cinemas are
Jesus.
fucking something else, dude.
It's just
It
like
was
one
so
step up from
fucking
a
funny.
drive-through theater. At least the drive-through theater has a little bit of like nostalgia to it.
Ambiance, yeah.
Ambiance.
Whereas-
but you can't hear
yeah.
anything
It's
properly.
like rackets and screaming is what I was hearing. I'm like,
Just
this
children.
is-
Just no. So it
No.
wasn't a midnight screening, obviously.
No,
Wasn't the
it was not
premiere,
a
yeah.
midnight screaming. No, I went with my girlfriend because we had nothing else to do on this holiday that we went on. And I was 13, maybe 13, I think 14. I was very young either way.
Yeah.
I was young enough to think
you
I
would
was
have been.
straight, firstly.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that was, it came out a long time. I'm trying to remember when the first one came out because I think that was like 2005, 4, 5.
I don't know. It was back when Anna Kendrick still had a non-frozen forehead.
That's a very good point. I love that also in Twilight, she still plays herself. They still manage to just
Get Anna Kendrick.
pick her and be like, she's just playing her, which is funny because she is in the books. Like they didn't create the character for Anna Kendrick. But I think she was like, I'm going to do this part, but I'm just going to be me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
How
okay?
about we
Cool.
do this, but it's just me.
Let's see.
Anna Kendrick is kind of...
Oh, 2008.
2008, right.
2008.
I would have been 10 when that came out. 10.
Oh, wow. Hang on. 30, 40,
You would have been 30.
Yeah, I was about 65, I think.
Yeah.
I was 15.
I'd just gone through Menzies.
Oh, while we're on the subject.
Oh my God. I'm so happy with that fucking shirt. Daddy Charlie. Oh my God.
Are you Daddy Charlie or Daddy Carlisle?
Is anybody Daddy Carlisle?
I mean,
anyone?
He's hot. He's hot, but he's not Daddy Charlie. You know what I mean?
He's a creep. he's a creep and a cretin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actor who plays him plays another character on a show I really liked called Nurse Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
And because I'd watched that before and I was like, is that the stupid doctor from Nurse Jackie? I was like, so it threw it off. And he was a doctor in that too.
Oh, yeah. Just to throw things off for you. That's his typecast now. Hot doctor.
Hot doc.
Hot daddy doctor.
But yeah, I absolutely Team Charlie. Who is Team fucking Carlisle? I've never met
some
someone.
Some people are. Some I don't.
Who? Also, what was Carlisle's power?
Oh, his special ability. I was actually reading about this the other day on the shitposting group because someone was like, "What is his thing?" And him and Esme. So they pretty much have the exact same thing, which is massive amounts of compassion, like being able to just love.
So Bella can
much.
cast force fields, Edward can read minds, and Carlisle can relate to you.
Carlisle's just like, I'm just such a good person.
He
Stephanie Meyer was like, I'm running out of powers.
And they both got married?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry, you're wrong. So there's a bitch who has taser hands. A dude who can change the elements, you know what I mean?
Is that Rami Malek's character?
Yeah, hot, by the way. Fucking
Still can't believe he was in that.
Little Miss Pixie Cut can fucking literally see through time.
See the future. Yeah.
And Carlisle can...
He's just a real good doctor.
He just knows whether the Happy Meal
really
has
good.
actually given you a happy... God. No.
Legit, yeah. They really... Him and Esme just got the worst deals. But I don't
God.
understand also how they ended up with so many kids, not, kids that have abilities. Like, it's not like it's genetic. They're not related. They're just like... He turns them and then all of a sudden they all end up with powers. How does that work? That's not meant to be a thing. Like, it's meant to be rare.
Genetic? Oh.
Like, it's meant to be like
what about
a special
baseball guy?
thing.
Is baseball guy have a special power besides being
Emmett?
buff?
I think
Yeah.
he's super strong. That's his like...
Oh, and what about Rosalie?
I think Rosalie doesn't. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it's
there you go.
just...
She's got it. She's a
Rosalie got
dud,
done
and
dirty.
she does not have extended compassion powers.
She does not.
Does not.
That's
Here
just-
comes
that's
the
just karma.
human.
That's just karma. Just karma. Yeah. No, I think Rosalie's the only one without anything. Right?
What about Jasper? Jasper can do something.
Jasper's
right?
got that empathy, the emotion changing situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
he gaslights, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. That's his gaslighting powers.
I came here because I really wanted spaghetti, but for some reason I want chicken tendies. I don't. What the hell is going on? And then you look in. He's looking at you. Have you seen those fucking videos, that TikToker that can do it? They do just perfect Emmett face. Perfect.
Or
Emmett
Jasper face?
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Sorry. Yeah, Jasper face.
That that girl
Yeah.
with the... And she has the contacts in?
Yes!
And she's just like...
I fucking love her so much. I'm going to put it on screen and I'll link her
Yes,
because
please. Put a
she
little
is
snippet.
so incredible. It's just so good.
Like the birthday scene of when Jasper's like
Yes.
running at her, and Edward just like
dude.
absolutely blasts her into the fucking thing. Like, what, Edward? What? Like, she's like, oh no, paper cut, and Edward's like, you know what? It's gonna be worse than that in a minute, bitch.
Yeah.
Boom! Like,
Spinal fusion. Bang.
And if you pause the scene where she gets thrown into that wall, like it's just like this, you can tell it's just this dummy. It's just like, I mean, I know it was the 2000s, but like Jurassic Park had phenomenal CGI.
Dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs.
And yet, and it still holds up. And yet we can't manage that for a 2000s movie. I don't understand.
What I will say.
Yes.
It was the first movie. So it might not have been as huge and as big budget as it came to be, right?
But then it was huge. And you know what they did? They made goddamn Regurgitate look like a Chucky doll.
Oh, I was like, who's that? Yeah. No, that was terrifying. I did find out that, you know, the memes with her face that were...
The original doll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Please add.
It was, creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that was not in the movie.
Correct.
I thought it was in the movie, and I'd sort of like incepted it into my mind. I was like, how did they let that fly?
Well, I mean, technically it is in the movie, but they CGI'd over the doll.
Yes.
So every time you see them looking at this thing lovingly, like Rosalie
That's what they're looking at.
was doing. She was fucking bringing it acting wise. Just like, wow, look at you, beautiful girl. And then you see that fucking cursed
oh my God,
thing.
You're so gorgeous.
That's what she was having to act with. It's insane. And then they were like, actually, no. They got to the editing room and they were like, it's not working. It's not working. You know what? We'll use the worst CGI of all time.
Yeah.
That'll be better.
We'll mix everyone's faces together in some cacophonous, evil fucking mud puddle, and then we'll slap it on this toddler's face.
Yeah.
And the toddler aged really quick, which I didn't like. And then there's the whole creepy thing with Jacob. You name my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? That is my favorite part of that fucking movie.
Yeah, the best line. It's a true comedy.
I
really
quote
is.
it all the time. All the time. It's just the best. You name my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? Just the delivery of that line. I love Kristen Stewart. But fuck, dude. That movie had some bad lines and she was just fucking dealing with it.
She was like, I'm going to put my all into this horrendous writing.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you, Stephanie Mayer. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, so I need your favorite Twilight movie and favorite Twilight moment.
Ooh, okay. Favorite Twilight movie? It's still the first one for me.
Okay.
I think mainly because there's a lot of nostalgia
Hoa
in
Hoas?
that, like Hoa Hoas, and the blue tint, the original, just classic. I always put it on, and then I always end up watching all of them because you get into the groove. But the first one, definitely. Favorite? I feel like there's two. Like the birthday scene is obviously fucking hilarious.
Yes.
The any bits in New Moon where she's like fake seeing Edward just gets me so funny, like on the motorbike with that random dude. She's like, I gotta get, and the dude on the motorbike's like, oh, you crazy.
Oh, you lunatic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
And then I love that the realisticness of just him like letting her go. Like he's like, hey babe, get on my motorbike, and then she goes all crazy and she's like, stop, I gotta get off, and he's like, okay.
All right, see ya. All right.
Super realistic.
Very realistic. Men don't care.
Could have got dark real fast though, if they didn't. But yeah.
But Ed was watching. Isn't that the thing
Sort
he was
of.
watching?
Well, she wanted him to be, I guess.
Yeah.
But he wasn't actually, right?
Yeah.
Because he
probably
wasn't
not.
talking to anyone. Because he just like ditched and wasn't even talking to like
Sure.
Alice or anything. So he couldn't like read anyone's minds and like find out what the fuck she was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
That was also a power I never really understood. But
It's all very, yeah. And like at the very end when, so the whole Jacob Range Rover situation,
Right.
when they are going to be like together forever. gross.
Range Rover. Sorry, I just got what you meant. I'm like, what? Oh,
Yes. Little baby Range Rover.
little Rasputin. Yeah.
Yeah, little baby Rasputin. That's a perfect name for her. When at the very end, Alice sees a vision of Jacob and Range Rover growing up and being together forever, right?
Okay,
And like
yep.
And then Edward reads Alice's mind seeing that, and they both kind of like smile at each other like, oh, how sweet. And I'm like, that's
a child bride.
someone grooming your child.
Yeah. Hey,
you should
how
not be
about
happy
that?
about that. No.
So Together Forever, is it romantic?
Well, that's the bit that Alice saw at the end, which definitely insinuated romanticism.
It was very sold that it was not romantic at all in the movies.
Apparently, but like not at the start. So I think it's meant to be like Jacob's meant to be whoever she needs him to be at the time, right? Like twin flames, but like
that is the textbook groomer. It's the textbook groomer.
He's like, it's not like that.
I was just her music teacher. I was just her music teacher from when she was literally a baby until 18.
Yeah.
I never had time.
When she was a baby, like 2 weeks ago.
Ideas. Yeah, and she was very precocious for a child that was 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
That bitch walked into the battlefield like, I've got nothing wrong with someone. I don't know the lyrics. But that's when
Muse.
That's
You're
when
singing the baseball scene song.
Yeah. Do you remember they float?
Oh, when they're on the carpet?
They float into the fucking
See, they didn't need CGI. They look pretty good on camera.
Yeah, the Black Eyed Peas really did their good work. In that movie. I thought it was the Black Eyed Peas. Did I tell you about that?
It could have been.
I was
giving Will.i.am vibes.
I was told before I watched the movie that it was the Black Eyed Peas. And I was like, oh, God, Fergie looks weird.
Who told you that?
It's just some kids at school. It was just a rumor going around at school that it was the Black Eyed Peas. Because I'm pretty sure at the time they had just released, and tonight's gonna be a good night. And it was still huge, right? And so I watched this movie. I'm like, Black Eyed Peas. This is weird.
You're like,
is this product placement? I didn't understand it. But yeah, I found out much later that was not Will.i.am.
No. They just like float on into the meadow and then they're like, Fergalicious.
I know. So hot. But it took me till I saw what Will.i.am actually looks like, because I'd never had. Because he had a music video for, I think, Boom Boom Boom. And I was like, that is not the same guy.
The class of the music of the 2000s.
Same guy.
Boom Boom Boom.
Oh my God.
Boom, boom, boom.
And it was just odd. It was just fucking odd. I just didn't know. But my favorite movie, thanks for asking.
Yes, your favorite movie and your favorite moment, please and thank you. We were getting back to it, circling it around.
I liked part 2, right?
Okay,
part 2,
yes.
Breaking Dawn part 2, specifically for the fight scenes. I thought those fight scenes were actually some of the best CGI I've seen in a good long time. It was a good long time.
So did they have a separate CGI department for that?
I know.
That they did for Renee.
They
like,
outsourced
what were
it.
they doing?
They outsourced it.
They must have. I reckon they left it so late in the piece to change her that's why it was just so bad. And they were like, fuck, this will do. Yeah. This will do.
I think that's what happened. It's fine.
Did you see Breaking Dawn Part 2 in cinemas?
I did.
Did you hear the audible gasp when Carlisle gets his head clean ripped off?
I heard everyone's buttholes pucker to the chair. I heard...
like literal screaming, people fainting, people dying.
I did not like the cop-out of that. I didn't like the cop-out. And it was
I kind of understand why they went that route, because they split it into 2 movies. There was literally nothing for the second movie because the fight scene doesn't exist in the books. It just does. It's not there.
What? I didn't know that.
No, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. So like literally I'm sitting in cinemas and I'm like, this doesn't happen. What's going on? And I know that they were pretty true to the books for everything else. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Is the baseball scene in the book?
Pretty sure.
So they did that baseball scene.
They did that baseball scene. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Do they gather all the allies in the book?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they go and they talk, and then the Volturi are just like, cool.
Okay. Good.
Looks like.
Well, that's what happens in the end.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
basically
that they had to add something for just cinematic value. You know what I mean? Because there was just nothing else in that movie.
It was
Because that's
for
the
the
whole,
boyfriends. It was for the boyfriends.
literally, because there was no climax otherwise
No.
for that movie because you'd already done all the climax in Breaking Dawn Part 1.
That fight scene took all the budget from all the other movies. All the
I reckon
CGI
it did,
budget.
Yeah.
They're like, we can skimp on little Rasputin's face. We'll just, Revolver can just get a weird face, and then we're gonna have
Should be fine.
the earth ripped open by Rami Malek's character, and we're gonna have a bunch of wolves and vampires falling in.
The wolves looked great.
Whoa,
The
falling
wolves,
down. Whoa.
the wolves looked fantastic from New Moon, even like the whole way through. They look really impressive.
Speaking of New Moon, favorite song from Twilight.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. I think it's got to be Eyes on Fire, which is the ho ho ha ha ha. That
Fair
one.
enough. Mine is Decode by Paramore.
See, yes, I do love that song too,
That
but I
one,
also almost don't count it because it was only a credit song.
I count it.
But
It
it's
was
still like it's obviously it's
The
from
music
the soundtrack,
video,
but
and then,
yeah. Oh, I wanted my hair like that color so bad. That raspberry color she had in the video.
I wanted to be Hayley Williams so bad when I was younger. And then now, I guess.
still do. I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I
That
actually
raspberry
had,
color. Look at your fucking hair, bitch.
I know.
Look at your fucking
But
hair.
I was like, back then I was at school and you weren't allowed like bright hair
Bright
and stuff.
colours,
I just grew
yeah.
up and did what the fuck I wanted. But yeah, like back then when it came, so that was, like 2008, 15, I was like, I want to be that bitch. And I also
I'm
started,
already
that
that
was the
bitch.
that same age I started a band as well. And we were like, pretty much went off of like, we wanted to be like Paramore. We were like,
You started a band? What was your band's name?
I don't even know if we got that far. Like it was so, it was high school students attempting to create something and
I'm
not
going to
doing very well.
guess you were the singer.
I was, yes. The band did do very well because I somewhat dated the drummer and we
Right.
fucked up
You
in
fell
them,
out. Right, you tried to do a Fleetwood Mac, but you didn't have a Silver Springs moment. And you're
Correct.
never
Correct.
getting rid of the sound of a woman who loves you. That video gives me fucking chills. Chills, dude.
Any Fleetwood Mac song?
I mean, I just love... I feel like it... fits
Favorite
into
Fleetwood
spooky
Mac
vibe.
song?
I do like Silver Springs. However, I don't like the first half of the song, so that disqualifies it.
That's it.
Whereas I love Rhiannon all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
Rhiannon
Oh.
is my favorite song. Rhiannon, and then Dreams, and then Seven Wonders, Landslide, The Chain, and then Silver Springs.
Yeah. Landslide's good. My
Yeah.
favorite actually is Sarah.
Oh, really? Because
I
that's
really
not
like that
that's
one.
not Stevie Nicks, is it? That's the other one. That's the other one.
Oh my God, I forgot what her name is. She passed away recently.
Bisky Driscoll. I don't know her name.
It's gone from my brain,
Let's look
which
it
I
up.
feel bad about.
Sarah Fleetwood Mac.
But then I'm also a massive fan of Stevie Nicks' just solo stuff. Like I have her full greatest hits on that. Like you wanted to say Rhiannon because you said Rhiannon, and I'm like, no, that's not the other lady's name. I thought it was.
Oh, it was Stevie. I'm so
yeah,
wrong.
I was like, it
I'm
sounds
so wrong.
like
Who's the
her.
other singer though? Fleetwood Mac singers.
That's going to be tricky because they fell out and then got back together and they fell out and they got back together and then traded out singers numerous times.
Was it Christine McVie?
Yes, Christine McVie.
Christine McVie.
Yes.
Let's look what she did. Let's look which song she did. Because I know it was one of them. No way.
Well, she's back up on, I mean, she's in Dreams, right?
Yeah.
And she does back up for like all of them.
Yeah, I really like Fleetwood Mac. It's my birthday. Not this episode, but maybe
When
not.
it comes. Oh, no, not when it comes out, but when we record next.
I think it might even be after that. I think it might be 2 episodes from now. Maybe. Let me have a look. So this episode will
Calendar.
go on the 27th, and then No, we're recording
third.
not the next episode, but the episode after on my birthday.
Oh.
So I'm so excited.
When you turn 13.
13, 14.
How exciting.
No, I'm 14. God, Mom, Grandma. I am going to. I really wanted to go to this restaurant, this Japanese restaurant that I love, right? Mm-hmm. But they're not open on the day that my birthday is, and so I don't
A birthday
get to
present
go.
to my birthday on my birthday.
You brought a birthday present to my birthday on my birthday. Yes. I fucking love that video.
So they're just not open on a Monday? Is it a Monday?
Yes, it's Monday, yeah.
So they're not open
See,
Mondays.
I wasn't going to give the day out just because people could easily look up Japanese restaurants and see
so
what day
sorry.
it's
And
closed.
then,
And,
like,
now I've been
snipe you?
doxxed. But it's fine.
But which Monday is it?
Oh. I mean, they could just count 2 weeks and from... Because we just told them. Anyways, here's your
No, they're not
social
good at
security
maths.
number.
It's okay. It's okay. And what is your mother's maiden name and your first pet's name?
Yeah, and also, what was your grandmother's maiden name? Fleetwood. No. I have a friend, and I hope they don't mind me mentioning them. I will ask, but their name is Rhiannon Fleetwood. How sick
Like,
is that?
Before Fleetwood Mac was a thing? I guess not, because they've been around for a long time, right?
No, she was
So they-
obviously named after them.
That's so cool.
But-
Mum wanted to name me Rhiannon. That was my original name picked out, and my dad was like, no.
You're not a Rhiannon. I'm sorry, you're not a Rhi. Sorry.
Okay.
I feel
Such
like
a
you
cool
could
name,
be
though.
like, maybe like an Ashlyn or something.
I wish.
Or like Emma, maybe.
And I'm sorry, you're naming me a basic bitch name like Emma. I'm sorry to all the Emmas. I love you. But
No, I'm just thinking like names that match someone with a really fat head. You know, like Emma, Ellie, Ashlyn,
bitch, Brad.
bitch, cunt, Brad. Yeah. What's your mum's name? So I was
This
gonna.
is the horror Halloween episode where we just fucking attack each other.
Be rude to each other. We just maul each other. So I feel like that is the best time to ask, what's your favorite scary movie?
I love that movie so much. Well, not that movie, but the scary movie version of that movie.
Yeah.
But Scream is also good, I must say. As we talked about, I think, was it the first episode that we talked about how we're both not big horror people because we're big, scary, babies?
I'm a big horror person, but I'm terrified of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
Which is
love
the
horror.
worst way to be because you're like, I want to watch this, but also not really, you know? But I did enjoy, I enjoy any 80s horror because it's so bad now that it's funny. So I don't get scared, which is fantastic. So like the Slumber Party Massacre is fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen that.
You should see it. It's very funny. Do you have Shudder?
No, I don't. Isn't it free?
No.
Oh.
No. But they have some really cool, like, old stuff. I
yeah.
watched another, I can't remember what it was called, but it had, is it Brooke Shields that's in Blue Lagoon?
Think so.
That actress, and also Paul, what's his face from Fast and Furious? Paul Walker. My brain was like really turning that over in my brain. Very, very young Paul Walker, very, very young.
Was
Brooke
he
Shields.
CGI or not?
No, because he was still alive.
Hey.
Pre Fast and the Furious. And this was a full horror on him getting turned into a T-Rex that then murdered people.
A T-Rex? Mm-hmm. Is this like Tusk?
I haven't seen that.
Tusk?
What's that?
Spoiler alert, Tusk is a movie where I think it's Daniel Radcliffe gets turned into this walrus-like creature by a mad scientist. He gets like sewn into a walrus.
Pretty much that.
And there's a point in the movie where the scientist says, "Walruses don't cry," because he's crying. Walruses don't cry.
Fuck.
Yeah, I just thought it was in.
I love Daniel Radcliffe.
It felt like this spiritual
going
successor.
from Harry Potter to crazy.
I know. He's so hot. It's a problem. It felt like the spiritual successor to the Human Centipede movies. Those movies, I
can't.
couldn't deal with them. I watched the second one before I watched the first one on a contraband laptop at my school.
Accurate. Oh yeah, you would have been an itty bitty baby when that came out.
I was an itty bitty baby. So I was in, fairly sure I was in year eight when it came, well, when I saw it at least. And my friend had it downloaded to her laptop, and we were watching it in cooking class, ironically. And there's a point where she gives birth and then has to step on the baby, right? To escape. She kills the baby.
Oh my God.
She's in this car, and then she gives birth,
horrendous.
and the baby goes down where the foot pedal is, and she like stomps on it to like drive away because he's coming after her to come and get her again.
Jesus Christ.
And that's the exact moment when the teacher passed behind me and looked at the screen. Like absolutely
She's
horrified.
like, this is not how to cook chicken strips.
Horrified. Because that's what we told her. That's what we told her we were doing. We were researching recipes.
Yeah. Oh, just looking at recipes.
And we're pretending to type. And then it's like fully Human Centipede 2. We're watching it at the back of class, me and my friend Kelsey. And we're watching it, and the teacher walked past and was like, we got in a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and you traumatized that teacher for life.
Hey, she traumatized me. She made me eat rotten fucking ingredients. I can't eat pesto because she made us cook with bad garlic and bad eggs, bad fucking everything, right? And then she forced us to eat it. And then I vomited, and then she got in trouble and we all got in trouble. So we all got detention from her because we didn't want to eat it. And then we all got sick. Immediately.
Your school sounds fantastic.
Oh, it was a fucking hellhole.
My God.
But I loved it. Yeah, that was yeah. But my favorite horror movie. What, did you pick yours? You did. The T-Rex one?
No, the Slumber Party Massacre is probably yeah. But also same era, 80s. Anything 80s.
Trying to think of what I've seen. Cabin in the Woods is really good because I feel like it's sort of like a subversive genre sort of one where it's like comedy and horror. Have you seen it?
I love horror comedies.
Yes,
they are,
me too.
yeah, like if we're going to go, I kind of went the classic horror route, but if we're going, horror comedies are my ultimate favorite because, yeah, I'm like a big pussy baby. So I like funny stuff. So Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
That's so fucking good. It's so
underrated.
Fucking good.
Oh my God.
I watched that movie again after a while, and the fucking wood chipper scene makes me laugh so fucking hard. So
He's
fucking
just trying
hard.
to help him out, and he's like, "Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh no! Oh my God!" Yeah, it's so funny. They're just like, these kids are out here killing themselves in the woods.
But it felt like
It's me every time.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Dead was the first horror movie I saw ever. Evil Dead, and I tapped out when the scene with the vines that sexually violate
the very
someone.
original one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It gets better because it gets funnier. Like when they
Yes, it gets
really lean
campy.
into the comedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I checked
It
out,
gets good.
and I really want to watch the new one, The Evil Dead Rise.
It's so good. You need to.
I really want to. I'm terrified. But I'm trying to think
That's
of what
fair.
my very favorite is. It's hard syndicating, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Ghost Shit was pretty good. It's not.
Well, that's
it's
true.
definitely not my
That's
favorite.
true.
But we did open this episode.
That's true.
I mean, this podcast talking about fucking
That
Ghost Shit.
ghost ship. Yeah. It's a classic. Stand the test of time. And then there's obviously like you've got your classics like your Halloween and your Friday the 13th and you like I feel like those are an easy pick.
Yes.
So I didn't want to go that route of just like, oh, it's
I also don't think I would pick them as my favorite. What is the genre that scares you the most? Mine is ghosts.
I just like fucking jump scary shit. Anything like like poltergeisty, like
Right.
what was the camera one?
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity. I could not do, and the problem with that is that I'm watching it and I'm like, it's not that scary, right? It's not that scary.
And then you're home alone.
It's a camera, and then you go to bed.
Yes.
That is the problem when it's so realistic.
Yes.
In terms of like, oh, I also have a door that's dark when it's open. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there could be a thing right there. Yeah,
Yes.
like it's different to. Yeah, I don't know.
My scariest genre is like demonic possession. I think that's really fucking scary.
Like The Exorcist and
yes.
shit. Like
I
The
watched-
Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That one was scary.
That one was pretty
There was
fun.
one that ends in like a barn, and I think that might be that one, but I'm not entirely sure. But there's like the possession of Hannah Grace, I think is one of them, and they end up, spoilers, putting her in a furnace, and you like see the demon come
Christ.
out. But anyways,
Classic.
I don't know. Possession movies are quite scary. I'm still
feel you
struggling.
there.
I mean, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
It's gotta be up there, right?
I love
Horror
Shaun of the
comedies?
Dead. Yeah, it's one of the ones that I just put on all
Yeah,
the time.
me
Just
too.
it's classics. Any of the Cornetto trilogy is.
Yeah.
Any of those are fantastic. Like Shaun of the Dead, and then I'd probably go Hot Fuzz
Hot Fuzz
Afterwards.
is good.
in terms of order. But yeah,
Would you say Hot Fuzz is a horror? It's a thriller for sure.
I mean it's kind of like there's a lot of death in it.
True,
Eventually, like
true.
not as straight horror as like Shaun of the Dead, but I think I think at the start no, and then it just all of a sudden gets dark once you realize what's going on. You know.
I'll say my favorites, maybe The Exorcist. The Exorcist.
Oh,
That one
which is
scares me
interesting
the
because you
most.
don't like. Oh yeah.
It scares me the
Yeah.
most. It's your mother sucks cocks in hell. There's so many like
Yeah.
you know,
And they're making
little
another
bits.
one. They're redoing it.
they've redone it.
Oh, they have already. It's out.
released. It's released. I haven't
Oh.
seen it yet, but they
No.
just released The Pope's Exorcist, The Exorcist Believer, and then there's going to be in 2 years' time. There's going to be another Exorcist movie. I haven't heard great things,
Yeah.
so I
I
watched.
feel like people will just be like too. It's like The Exorcist was a classic, and I
done.
think people are going to say
Yeah.
just it's done. You don't need to touch it.
What they did, it's the first time we've seen two demonic possessions at the same time.
Oh yeah,
It's like
right.
a folie à deux situation. And lots of the reviews are saying, oh, it's much gorier than the first one, but it's
Okay.
less suspenseful. Like in the
Right.
first one, the director wove in sounds of angry bees and like
Yeah.
wildcats and growling. And it made you viscerally scared. There's something like instinctually scary about that.
Yeah.
Where you didn't understand why you were feeling this way. And then fucking Reagan would crawl backwards down the stairs.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, or throw a fucking dresser at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
It was the one that
There's
my
a-
mum saw in theaters when it came out, but she had to leave because it was
really?
too scary.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think one of the ones that scared me as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
or like as a young adult, I guess, was the Blair Witch Project.
Oh yes.
You remember when that? Well, you probably would have been really young when that came out, but I remember, like, we definitely were way too young to watch. I think we were like 12 or something.
So I would have just
maybe?
been born.
Yeah, like a baby infant.
I was just a sparkle in my dad's eye.
We should not have been watching the Blair Witch Project.
No.
I think one of my friends like had it on DVD.
I feel like,
VHS?
I feel like
DVD.
I've told this story on before, but we guessed the password to my parents' Foxtel account, the little pin. So we watched The Grudge and The Ring, and
my
I was
God.
5 years old.
Jesus Christ.
I was 5 years
We're
old.
like, oh, this looks fun.
Well, Andrea, my older sister Andrea, who I love, she's crazy, but I love her. She put it on and she was like, "Oh, let's watch this movie. Ooh, this is so fun. We're being naughty. We're not allowed to do this." And she was a rebel. She just wanted to get in trouble, pretty much, and we did. because it was $20, and yes,
Not even free to watch.
because it was pay-per-view, right? It was,
Oh my
you
God.
know,
And you didn't go for porn. You were like,
well, there was
horror.
porn. There was lots of porn, but
Oh.
I was 5. I didn't know what it was. I didn't care. I don't
No.
care about tits. I don't care about tits now. You know what I mean? So we watched The Grudge, and there's a scene where she like she's in an elevator, and she's like got a lighter, and she gets pulled into the roof. And then I started crying and ran out.
Yeah.
I ran for my
At
life.
5.
And grabbed no shoes
No.
and nothing, Jesus. But yeah.
And your sister was like, okay.
She watched the whole thing. And then she watched The Ring. And then she watched The Ring. I watched a little bit of The Ring. And then there was like, I don't know. I don't fuck with that sort of scene.
Yeah, fucking like bitch in the well. Get
Yeah,
in the well.
no.
Now, yeah, anytime I hear like The Ring now, I just think of Scary Movie, which
Cindy, another little white girl that fell down the well.
your TV's leaking.
TV's
Yeah,
leaking.
the
This
best.
bitch is messing up my floor.
I always watch Scary Movie at Halloween time, so I would be due a rewatch actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
'cause
like
it's nearly time.
they made that new movie, the number 5, which was dog shit.
Yeah,
Because it was dog shit because they didn't have Brenda and Cindy. Because
exactly. You
and
need the
I
original.
heard why. So what happened was it went from the old production company to Weinstein Production Company. They bought it,
Blech.
and they said that Cindy and Brenda were too old to be sexy, and so they didn't want them in the movie. Yep. Yes.
Oh my God, I thought you were about to say that they refused to be in it because of who bought it, which I'd be like, yes, go girl.
Well, that was before.
But it's
they knew.
worse.
That was before anybody
That's true, yeah, it
They
was a long
knew,
time
but it
ago.
wasn't like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Common knowledge.
yeah.
Those fuckers. It's not like it's a fucking sexy romantic comedy anyway.
Anna
like,
Faris came out in an interview and she was like, I felt really fucking snubbed because she is that
Scary
series.
Movie.
She's Scary Movie.
legit.
Her dumb fucking bitch face
Yeah.
is the movie. It's the
Legit.
movies. It's always been the movies. It was her first role, and it was her best.
And that's like her,
you know what I mean?
But it's like her character now too, like
Exactly.
that classic dumb like Anna Faris role.
Yes.
That's her, you know. So for them not to give that to her, is that the one with Charlie Sheen in it, number 5?
Yeah.
With the kids.
It starts with him having
and-
sex with Lindsay Lohan, and then he dies. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow you across the room, and he's like, "All right," and then she does.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
That's
I pretty
yeah.
much just the first. I feel like the first 3, and then you just
Number 3 is
get
my
rid of
favorite.
the other ones.
Number 3 is my favorite, and that actually number 3 is what traumatized me for The Ring, because the girl crawling
really?
out of the well scared me so much as a kid. I couldn't have a TV in my room or near my room.
Jesus
I
Christ.
was terrified. I was like fully 14 by the time I got a TV in my room, because I was like, oh, you know, it's not real, but what if my mind makes it real? Like I didn't. Yeah. Because I've like
Me,
OCD.
anytime I watch Paranormal Activity or anything like that and go to bed, I'm like, stop it. Just stop it. It takes me too long to get to sleep.
Yes.
At the best of times, you add in any sort of stimulus like that makes my head just churn it over. No.
I absolutely struggled last night. What is your favorite scary TV show?
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite show? I know mine.
Well, as we were talking about Evil Dead, the series
Oh yeah,
was really
Ash vs.
good
the Evil Dead.
and filmed in New Zealand.
Really?
Did not know that until I watched it, and literally every
Wow.
episode I'm like, hey, I know that person. Hey, I know that person. That person is in Shorten Street. So is that person. What the fuck is going on here? And then I look it up and I'm like, hey, that's Spookers.
That's
so there's an
Hobbiton.
old asylum. There's an old asylum in Auckland that we've been to, and it used to be the site for Spookers, which is like a haunted like walkthrough bit.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
also one very small part of the asylum, and the rest of it is just not used. It's like all
Right.
boarded up. But they do like this outside shot. I don't know if they shot inside of the asylum, but the outside, I was like, that's King Seat. hospital.
Right.
I'm like, they filmed this in Auckland.
I didn't know it was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite horror show, horror anything, Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
Haunting of Hill House is the
feel like it'd be
best
too scary
show.
for me. I didn't watch it.
You need to. It's so compelling. It is truly some of the best theatrical performances I've ever seen. But also the writing and the it's like a story. It's a narrative that it doesn't feel incestuous. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like it's playing on itself too much, and it doesn't feel like it's going nowhere. And it, which horror sometimes does. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It can be sort of. They just do camp and they don't do a real story. Whereas Haunting of Hill House, it's all about the story. And they do this thing, which I fucking love, that movies are doing more nowadays and TV shows are doing more, where they will hide ghosts in the background, where they're not pronounced.
The Easter eggs.
They're not pronounced, but they're like, this hat will like move out of frame and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you won't see it, but you'll think you'll see it and you go back and you see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was one recently, they've made a new show, right? The people who made Haunting of Hill House have made a few shows. They made Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yeah.
They made Midnight Mass. They
have
made
seen Midnight Mass.
some other
Very good.
nonsense, Midnight Session, Midnight Group, Midnight Express, something.
Oh, with the kids?
With the kids. I didn't like that. It was very
I
boring.
haven't seen that. Yep.
It was like, hello, fellow children. It was bad. And then I watched...
The
I
newest
started watching, The Fall of the House of Usher.
That does look good, but also very scary.
It is not as scary as Hill House or Bly Manor.
Okay.
It is... There is definitely scary moments. But it's based on Poe. Like Poe's poem, I guess, of the same name.
Right.
And like you're unraveling clues and like little tidbits, because I had to read it for English, so I know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like little things like how his sister's locked in the basement and shit like that. I would highly recommend it. It's a very good story. I would start with Hill House and then do Bly Manor, do Midnight Mass, do it as they came out, because they are so good. Midnight Mass is underrated.
Loved
for sure.
Midnight Mass, yeah. It is slow. It is a very slow burn.
It's a slow burn, yes.
Very slow burn.
And then the end is like...
Once it ramps up, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. That kind of horror I can get around. Like that was just more suspenseful and interesting and like didn't... Yeah.
The loudest
No jump
I've
scares
ever
and shit.
heard my partner scream, that's not true. There is a jump scare. At the very start, where he's looking out his window and the vampire appears in the window.
Oh, yeah.
The face.
Spoilers.
Well,
I mean, it has been out for a while.
It's
but
been
yes.
out for years.
Yeah.
My partner screamed so loud. It was the loudest I've ever heard him scream. And then he was traumatized. He had to sleep with the light on. Like, he was so traumatized by that fucking movie. And I was scared too, but...
I was traumatized by all the fucking dead cats. That's the thing that traumatized me.
Yes.
I was like, oh,
that was spooky,
bitch.
yeah.
Why they got to do that? I didn't look up did the dog die, that website that you could just put the movies in and check if any animals die.
Oh, right.
Godsend, that website.
It's really the only thing that's kept me going. I'm like, Marley and Me. Does the dog die? That's my favorite
dog
horror
on the
movie.
Cover. yeah. Legit. My Girl is my favorite horror movie.
Oh, God. His face hurts. He can't see without his glasses. That made me cry so fucking hard as a kid. I watched that movie and cry and cry and cry. That movie. God damn. And number two, because she's dealing with the fact that her mum died and her best friend died.
Spoilers.
And,
no, I'm kidding.
Well, hey.
From a show from the fucking 90s.
Came out from less than the 90s. My Girl was like 80s.
You could be right there.
I think I'm right. Hang on, let me have a look. It was 91. You're right.
My Girl, the best year.
What happened that year? Nothing important. Oh, My Girl came out.
was born and My Girl came out. Yeah.
My Girl came out.
My Girl.
So favorite horror show, probably Hill House or Blind Manor. This one's very good though. I will say The Fall of the House of Usher is really, really good.
Yeah. Someone was saying it was like a better American Horror Story, like what American Horror
Yes.
Story should have been.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Interesting.
yes. Honestly, I did like a lot of American Horror Story. I really liked Coven. Coven's my favorite. Like, it's meant to be horror. It's not very scary, but like, I love the witchy shit.
Yeah. See, I feel like that would be. I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, really? You haven't seen Coven?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
need
but I
to
was
watch
like, maybe I
Coven.
should see Coven. But yeah, it's hard to know like what's going to scar me for life and what's not.
There's
because when you look it up,
nothing in
you've got
Coven.
like horror nuts that are like,
Yeah.
this wasn't scary at all. You know, like, and then you watch it and you're like, I cannot sleep. Thank you so much.
There is a scene in Coven that I found quite scary, but it's not a jump scare. It's a slow burn, scary situation that slowly
Right.
ramps up. And I'll tell the listeners, I won't tell you because I want you to watch it, but the listeners, the scene on Halloween with the people at the house. That's all I'll say. But it is truly, it's so good. It's so good. And they
I feel
get
like I'd
so
want to
much
watch
right
it
and so
just
much
for
wrong.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks is in it. It was a really
Yeah.
resurgence for Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
It really, really was. But the characters you'll fall in love with, and I don't know, the powers are cool. I don't know, it's just cool. It's a cool show.
Yeah.
I really liked Coven. Coven was my favorite for a while.
Yeah, I should definitely watch it. I've seen the new season is out with Kim Kardashian and people are mad about it.
I don't think Kim's doing too badly in it, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay.
AHS Delicate. From what I've seen, she's just kind of like, she's not playing Kim Kardashian per se. She's almost playing
Good.
a more relatable Kim Kardashian.
Right.
Because in this show, spoilers, she's had a miscarriage and Kim Kardashian is sort of helping her through it and talks about her own experience with miscarriage. And she's like her Hollywood agent. And there's a scene where she's like, do you know how many people have had to suck so many dicks to get you this opportunity? I just think it's funny because she's playing Chris. Basically.
Yeah, that is funny.
Kim's,
People are dying, Kim.
yeah. Yes.
People are sucking dicks, Kim.
People are blowing Kim.
Blowing.
He lost
Speaking
me
of,
earring in the ocean.
my earring. Do we have a fetish of the week?
We surely do. So
Fetish of the week.
this week we have narratophilia.
Naruto what?
Narratophilia.
Narratophilia. I feel like we
get-
almost need to like put the words on the screen.
Yeah. So
You're like, more editing for me. Thanks so much.
narratophilia. So
Is that something to do with like narration? Like a narrator? Like someone's like, and they were having sex.
and then he put his
penis,
cock. Yeah.
his throbbing member.
Not kind of. So it's the sexual attraction to obscene words. Obscene words.
So Wattpad stories?
Wattpad, yeah. DeviantArt, AO3.
Fanfic. Twilight fanfic where Edward and Jacob get together at the end.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah. It's, yeah. I mean, I feel like if there's ever going to be one that's relatable, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's,
I think everyone has read dirty stories.
I mean, except for people who can't read, but wow, Ellie. Wow, Ellie. Ability ableist.
So ableist. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you think that they make fanfics in Braille?
What about audiobook? I mean, that would work.
Or that might be easier. Yeah. That's probably easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, but I mean, Braille is very expensive to make.
Well, I can imagine it would be.
It's very, very expensive to make.
At least if you had like porn hidden under your bed, no one would know.
No.
They'd pull it out and be like, oh, okay.
What is
You'd just
old
be like,
orange? So neratophilia. I don't hear the word cock and get rock solid. That's just me. But I don't know. There's something to be said about dirty talk, right?
Oh yeah, I like a good dirty book.
Yeah.
I mean, I've written an erotic novel, so
I couldn't do it. Most of my writing is like fantasy, but not like fantasy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can't do it. Sex scenes ick me when I'm writing them. I'm like, and then they kissed wetly on the mouth. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. His lips were throbbing and not the ones on his face. Like, I don't know how to... I feel like you have to be a certain level of expert in crafting something that isn't cringe.
yes.
And I just can't do it. I just cannot do it.
And it's so hard because everyone else has different perspectives on like what words make them go ugh. Like some people are like, oh, I don't like cock.
And throb.
And some people are like,
don't like
yeah.
throbbing. I love throbbing.
Right.
Throbbing's
So then
hilarious.
you're always gonna have someone that's like, oh, that gives me the ick when you
Yes.
read it, rather, you know. But then you also can't use the same words every single
He
time. So if you've got
squelched a honey
multiple-
pot.
See, clearly you need to write one.
Hey,
You have all of these words.
I have the power. Especially like, I feel like gay sex scenes are very few and far between. And most of my characters, most of my, OCs in these books are female. So I don't know what that's like. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's true. I feel like Wattpad would have lots of gay fanfics now, though, right?
And then he stroked her clitoris until it got hard. Like, I don't know. I don't know the female sexual experience. And I wouldn't claim to, you know what I mean? There's only so much, research you can do. Like, you'll never be able to emulate that as a cis man.
With this, you'd have to write a gay version. You gotta write your truth.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like most of my OCs are lesbians. Anyways, I don't know. I've never released. Oh, that's not true. I did release a few stories when I was younger. It was so bad. It was like zombie survival stories, and they were just cringe. God, I was like 14. I was like, I'm gonna be a writer.
That's cute.
It's not.
Left for Dead.
Basically, Left 4 Dead, but it's like in a world where all of the adults were turned into dead people. Like shit like that.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Wait, wasn't that there is a movie like that, isn't there, where all the adults died?
Probably. It definitely was
watched.
not an original concept when I made it.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely watched something along those lines. And then it was like Lord of the Flies, and then all these like little parties made up, and they all lived in different spots. So like one teen group got like the mall, and you weren't allowed, no one else was allowed
That
to
had
go
Dylan
there.
O'Brien in it.
Yes.
Dylan O'Brien.
Yes.
That had Dylan O'Brien in it. I don't remember what it was
What movie
called.
is that?
Isn't it a TV show? Is it?
Oh, maybe it was a TV show.
And it's got the monsters. No.
No, that was Love and Monsters.
That was Love and Monsters. But there was another one.
Which was different. But there was, yes, right? My brain. Was it? No, yes, it was. It was a Netflix series.
Yeah, it was Netflix. It was for sure Netflix. If only we had something that could search, maybe through
What
like...
did we do before the internet? I swear to God. I would not be able to sleep. I'd be like, where do mushrooms come from?
Do you
And
know
I'd
what's
just
so
be up
fun?
for 10
We've
years.
said this exact thing 2 episodes ago.
That would be right. Because we do
said-
this and it goes in and just out
Yes.
instantly because my brain is mush. So I don't remember.
So, he was in Love and Monsters.
Yeah, that was also quite good.
I think that might be it.
No, because the adults, there were adults in that. No, this one was like a funny like TV show, and the whole premise was like there are no adults anymore. Like that was the whole like, oh no, it wasn't Dylan O'Brien. It was young Dean Winchester.
Dean
It was the-
Winchester?
The guy that played young Dean Winchester, hang on, bear with me. Young Dean Winchester.
Take pause.
His
take
name
pause.
is, no, sorry, not young young Sam, not Dean. Young Sam Winchester is Colin Ford.
Daybreak.
Yes.
There we go.
Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Yes. So he played young Sam Winchester in Supernatural. Yes. That's what I remembered him from. And that's right. And it's got Ferris
How
Bueller
wasn't
in it.
that your favorite horror TV show?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that horror.
Are you fucking kidding me? There is
okay.
parts of that is very fucking scary. The clown episode where the clowns are like trying to get into people's houses.
That's very funny.
That's
and the fact
fucking
that Dean's
scary.
Terrified of clowns. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, not Dean. Sam's scared of clowns. Yeah. I guess so. And it's funny because as a kid, because Supernatural's been around for a really long time.
Almost as long as you,
yeah, almost 1,000 years. I always thought that Supernatural was going to be way too scary, so I never watched it. And then when I got older, I don't know what season they were up to by the time I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch it. But I was like a full-blown adult, so I came in at like 20s, like 20.
You don't think the Bloody
maybe?
Mary episode was scary?
It was kind of scary, but it's not the kind of scary that would keep me up at night.
True.
Like it's not, yeah. I can't pin down what stuff really does me in and what doesn't, which makes it hard to know what not to watch.
Yeah, it would.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I have no issue with Supernatural. I love Supernatural.
It's scary. It's not super terrifying.
No.
It's, I don't know. I feel
I also don't like that in our era of growing up, I guess you would sort of be the same. You'd be a little bit younger, but no, not the jump scares. It's the torture porn.
Oh, true.
Because when we were teenagers, that's when Hostel came out and Saw came out. All of that was like the thing to do. And I cannot do any of that shit.
Centipede.
That shit, cannot. Yuck.
Do you know what movie really freaked me out? Have you seen
that?
Hush?
Oh, that's a new one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the deaf girl?
Yes. And the guy, he like puts a note on the door. So she writes him a note that says, I haven't seen your face, just leave and we'll forget that this ever happened. And he puts a note on saying you've seen it now and takes off the mask because he wants to kill her. He needs to kill her.
So fucked up. Yeah.
It was so scary.
That is another one of those, you know how we talked about watching people watch movies because it's not as scary because it's, I watched Dylan watch that movie. So I've sort of seen that movie.
Fair enough.
But it's good because also you know that anything that goes on YouTube, it can't be that graphic or scary because then they can't play it. So I'm like, it's going to be fine. I can watch whatever.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
It's the PG-13 version of the scary movie. And then I get the full premise without having to like terrify myself.
What I will touch on just before we close off for the day is we were right about Titanfall 3 and I don't want to hear any bullshit. We were right about Titanfall 3. We're always fucking right. I guess we just have bigger brains than some.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
You know what's funny is that Craig literally came home today and was like, was I fucking right?
Was I right? Was I right or was I right?
Was I right?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I wasn't disagreeing with you.
Nobody
Why
did.
Are you coming at me?
The entire internet agreed with you.
Babe, no one's against you on this.
Not one person. Not one.
He's like, he like ran and was like, you know what? I like chocolate. That might be really hard for some people to get.
Call me crazy.
Like, okay.
Call me crazy, but I don't like store-bought pesto. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. Quick okay Zoomer. There's a trend at the moment where this girl is making homemade pesto, right? Mm-hmm. And she goes, call me crazy, but I don't like store-bought pesto. And so everyone's like replying to it like,
right.
You're crazy, girl. You're a fucking crazy girl. Just a quick okay Zimmer, but that's happening at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Halloween.
I need to find that, obviously.
Halloween. It's spooky season. I'm sure spooky season will continue even after we wrap up for the night.
Do we have a quick overview of what you're doing for Halloween, like for the day? Do you have any
Halloween? Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure
it is a
I'm
Tuesday,
working,
which is a little bit painful.
Oh, I have the day off, so I will be I don't know. I guess giving kids candy, I suppose,
Yes. Horror movie marathon during the day, maybe, and then
for sure.
candle time.
I'm probably going to rewatch Haunting of Hill House
Yeah.
because it's so scary. Widowy, terrifying.
Widowy.
What about you? Have you set up your candy luge?
Not yet. We're going to do that this weekend, I think, because I'm a little bit worried. It rained yesterday, so I don't want it to get dumped
Wet,
on. So
right,
we've
yeah.
got all of our indoor decorations. We do a Halloween tree every year, so I can give you a photo of that
Nice.
here. Mr. Skeleton's going to go outside
Hot.
eventually for Candy Luge, but yeah, we're going to make a little
Craig is looking good there too. But
luge. Yeah, doesn't he? So
I
handsome.
see he shaved his head.
Yeah. He's lost a little bit of weight.
I mean, I would never talk about your husband's weight, but
Hey, babe.
he's still hung like a horse.
He's so bony.
I know. God, he's got a boner. But yes, I think that will conclude this year's Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah. 2023.
And next week we will be able to update you with how it went, I guess.
Yes.
But yes, I'm very excited for Halloween. I love Halloween. And yeah, in the comments, let us know what you're doing for Halloween and what you're going to be dressed as. Ellie's going as a impoverished urchin girl, and then she'll change into a costume at some point.
That's for usual.
Yeah,
I'll just be wearing this t-shirt all month.
all month. Yes, yeah.
You see me in the shops.
I'm just gonna neglect to shave and look terrible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks Castaway style.
Oh yes, I'll paint my partner's face like
Like Wilson.
Wilson. I almost said Steven. I was like, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, leave us a like and subscribe. And we'll be
Subscribe.
back next week. Last week it didn't go up late. We had to re-upload it because there was an issue with the editing because I'm dumb. But yes, so every Friday at 4:30, you're gonna get something. It may not be what you
You're
want.
gonna get something.
Okay, bye
But
everyone.
you're gonna get it.